What's going on, everybody? This video is why apartments are not about appreciation and why they are about understanding the NOI game. My name is Dan Leto. I am a multifamily investor with my wife. We own over 50 multifamily units, and we are the founders of D&K Investments. I'm so excited to do this YouTube channel, first video, and show you guys about the NOI game and why I want everyone to own one small multifamily deal in their life. So, what is net operating income and why does it matter? So, net operating income is income, which is the income of the rental property, minus expenses. And that could be everything from insurance, taxes, maintenance and repairs, any utilities that the owner is responsible for. And what that gives you is the NOI. And this number is super important when you're getting into multifamily because this is the only metric that a lender is going to give you money for. And you need to understand how you can incrementally increase the value very quickly through the NOI. But let's take a step back a little bit and understand a little bit of what the differences are between the NOI and single family real estate. So single family real estate is 1 to 4 units, or people call it residential real estate. So 1 to 4 unit complexes, that's a single family home. That's a duplex, triplex, quadplex. Those can only be valued based on comparable sales. So you might go, Dan, I really want to understand that more in depth. Great. So let's say that you are buying in a neighborhood. You're buying a triplex. And that triplex you bought for $200,000. In the area, the average comp for a triplex is $300,000. So I can put $150,000, $200,000 into the deal, but it's only going to be appraised off of that $300,000 value because that is what is happening in the neighborhood. Versus if I did NOI, so I have my profitability of the building, right? We could have $200,000 building making $25,000 a year in NOI annually, right? So that's all 12 months. And let's say this building, which is my neighbor, is making $12,500. So what does that mean? That means that my building should be double the value than the $300,000 building. And this is why NOI is so powerful, because once you start to understand that the more you can increase the NOI, the greater the outcome for the appraised value. And this is why we always say, skip the 1 to 4 units and get into 5 units and above. 5 units and above is when lenders start, and when I mean lenders, I mean local banks, credit unions, whoever is financing your deals, everything 5+ units is going to be now based on the NOI. So I'm going to give you a great example of the NOI, of showing you an example of a building and show you how quickly you can increase the value. So why does the NOI matter in multifamily real estate? So let's say I bought a 35 unit building. And let's say that building for 35 units had rent growth of $200. So what does rent growth mean? What rent growth means is, let's say the units, the market value though of a 2-bedroom was $1,100. They're currently at $900. So you have $200 to increase the rent growth to the market level, right? And it varies by industry. It varies all over the U.S. 35 units times $200 a month is $7,000 that you can increase all the units in your property to. But remember, you have to annualize it. This is just a month. It's crazy what NOI can do and rent growth can do to your property. So if we annualized this by 12 months, so 7,000 times 12 gives us $84,000 of new NOI. So what have we done? We've increased the rent, right, by $84,000. But now this is where the fun begins. And this is why I tell everyone, skip the single family residential 1 to 4 units and get yourself into multifamily. It will truly change your life. And now this is the life-changing formula that I want you guys all to remember. NOI divided by the cap rate. And what is the cap rate? The cap rate is if I had no debt in the deal, what is my return on my investment? So that varies by areas. Some places in New England, the lower the cap rate, the higher the value, right? So it could be a 4 or 5% cap rate. A higher risk area might be an 8 to 9% cap rate. It's all dependent on the area that you are investing in. And NOI divided by cap rate equals valuation increase. This is where wealth explodes in multifamily, because this is just new valuation that you've increased, and that means more equity for you, more money in your pocket, right? So $84,000 divided by, let's say it's an 8 cap, right? Let's keep it fair, right? We don't need to, say it's a high area. Equals, I'm going to bring that out on mine so everyone can see. All right, $84,000 divided by an 8 cap is $1.05 million. Crazy. So all you've done is increase the rents. You didn't do crazy rehabs. You didn't, do some crazy amount of money that you threw into it. You just increased the rents. That's it, right? You had under market rents in a property. You got them to market level and you made $1 million. Let me know what other investment that you can do it that quickly. And that's the power of multifamily. We can do this with a bunch of different expenses as well, right? If I'm paying for water, I can do separate water meters and have it be a tenant responsibility. I could do storage. I'll have a video coming out soon on ways that you can increase the NOI. I have 4 or 5 different awesome strategies of ways that I've been able to increase the NOI in my properties, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. So, getting back to the magic formula, the NOI, the last thing I want to share with you guys is this is all that's going to matter in the end of the day, right? Every dollar that you can increase in NOI is a substantial increase to the value. So I wanted to do this video as an introduction into multifamily in my path. My path is through the NOI. I don't have a single family or a quadplex. I jumped right into multifamily because you're playing a different game now. And when you are playing a different game, it allows you to incrementally increase your value very quickly. And I'm telling you, this game has made millionaires over and over again. So if you like the video, please subscribe, like, comment. I'm here to answer your questions on NOI. I want to be someone that you guys can DM and talk to. You want to see some real examples of my deals? Well, you are going to see that soon. I'm going to have a P&L video coming out on my 13-unit complex, a profit and loss statement, and I'm going to have a huge cash out refinance, which we're going to explain what the hell is that, where we're able to pull out a bunch of money through our 13 unit. I have so much exciting content coming to you guys. like, subscribe, ask questions. Please do, right? I want to know, what else do you want to learn about NOI? DM NOI if you have any additional questions. For now, that's it. Thank you so much.